So you got this dude, his name's Terrain, and Terrain, he likes, to photograph stuff. Ever since he was little, he just always had a camera in front of his face, and he just always basically, like taking family portraits, and that was his main thing. So as he got older, he went to college, and he eventually ended up meeting, a professor there, and he ended up saying, hey, actually, we're filming a horror movie, and I seen a few of your skills and a few of your pictures, and I'd like for you to come down. So he's like, okay, I think I can make some time to do that. So he says, oh, and don't forget, man, we're paying you, man. I'll pay you $50 each picture. I'll see you tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll let you know everything. So he ends up getting the information, and a week goes by. His professor ends up pulling up, hey, hop on in. He gets in, and he picks up a few more of, his colleagues, and he says, yeah, these are the people that's going to be, in the movie or whatever. It's like horror films. I just need you to take pictures of us, blow them up professional and send them to me so, I can put them on my wall at the house. So he's like, all right, cool. So now they in Portland, Oregon at this time. So they in the little wilderness, and he's just walking through, he's taking pictures, snapping pictures of the trees, squirrels and birds flying around and stuff like that. So eventually it comes time, to where it's like a few hours before they shoot the movie, and they got a little picnic table outside, and they're all eating, and some of them's dressed up with blood on their shirts, like fake blood, and one guy is the killer, and he got his mask off, and they're all eating. So when it's time to actually film, he says, okay, no, all I need you to do is, I just need you to stay back and, just stay behind me while we film. And, after that, I'll give you the details. So he's like, okay, cool. So the scene starts off with the girl walking through the woods screaming her boyfriend's name, right? And he's just sitting there watching this while the camera crew is recording, and he's just sitting back, holding his mini camera. And all of a sudden, the killer comes behind the tree, walks up behind the girl, and actually hits her in the head. And the girl at this time, her eyes roll in the back of her head, and she began convulsing at the mouth. The professor is like, good, this is what I want. He's just sitting there like, is this part of the script? And he said it in his head, but he didn't say it out loud. They end up, saying, okay, second scene, let's go. And the girl's still on the ground. So now the killer ends up dragging the girl, and putting her inside this black Ziploc bag. He actually puts her over his shoulder and walks off. And he says, okay, good scene. So by this time, he's feeling a little uneasy, because now he's thinking, okay, I haven't seen them take the girl out of the bag. Stay on their second scene. And the second scene is where they show up in this house. And when they go in, there's like realistic looking body parts, sitting on the table. And the killer's in there. And he's like, okay, action. So the killer takes the girl's head out of a bag, the actual girl's head, and literally throws it on the ground, and all these dogs start eating it or whatever. And this is looking like real bone matter and everything. And he's like, hey, where's old girl? And he's like, oh, no, she's good, don't worry about it. He's taking pictures or whatever, and the smell starts to get overwhelming, so he goes outside, and he kind of, he almost wants to throw up, but he keeps his composure. The professor says, all right, come with me. Anything you've seen today, you're not going to say nothing, right? He's like, yeah, I'm not going to say nothing. And as he's looking behind him, there's like, a few guys standing there looking serious, like, all right, good. What happens here stays here. And he ends up saying, how many pictures you take? And he says that I took about, 10 pictures. He gives him, $5,000 and says, how about this? Just keep this all a secret and send those pictures to me. So he gets back home looking through the pictures, and he sends them to the boss or whatever. And the professor ends up saying, all right, thank you. Oh, hey, I'll see you tomorrow at, the college or whatever. When he walks in, he ends up, saying what's up to his professor, and the professor is acting like nothing happened. A few months go by, and he's really not talking to the professor like that, but they're still, kind of cool. One day he opens up his door, and there's a box right there. And when he takes it in and play it, the video shows the guy coming from behind the tree. He hits the girl, basically takes her back to the building, chops her up, and a lot of other scenes I ain't gonna say. He ends up basically killing a few more other people, and it's actually looking pretty real. He threw the tape away. He's like, man, I don't want nothing to do with this. He takes all the pictures, delete them. He goes to a different college after that. Do y'all think he was actually there when they filmed a real horror movie? Like, comment, subscribe.